Bingo. I don't even know what to say about that title. What does it even mean? These three words seem like they shouldn't even share the same room together, let alone the title of a movie. It's like someone took three random word magnets and decided, no matter what the outcome, that was their fucking movie. Hey Frank, you want to star in my new movie, Mountain Biscuit Corpse? Or maybe the origin of the title was something simple, like this.
You know what's a good movie? The Geek.
Oh yeah, especially the ending.
We need to do a movie like that, except with something extra.
Like maggots?
Bingo.
Not sure that sketch was entirely necessary, but you get my point. Funniest part is, that's technically not even the full title. The real title is Geek Maggot Bingo, or The Freak from Suckweasel Mountain. I can relate to that. I've seen a movie that got use out of the words weasel and suck. Maybe the title even goes on from there. The Freak from Suckweasel Mountain and Love the Bomb who went up a hill but came down a mountain while drinking your juice in the hood. Alright, enough of my jokes that are going nowhere. Let's watch this movie that also goes nowhere. Oh good, the second movie in a row I've watched that has a text crawl in front of it. Joke's on you. If I'm dumb enough to watch this movie, it means I can't read. If you cut a face, urinate on it, trample on it, the skin will come off. If you're gonna use a samurai proverb, at least write them on something that isn't black construction paper. The movie is introduced to us by horror host John Zachary, seen here injecting himself with overacting juice. Now that I can tell with the sound of the camera motor overwriting the dialogue.
This is Zachary here with another gruesome offering from my Dungeon of Horrors. Well,
looks and sounds like my earlier episodes, only with more skeletons on his chair.
were they retarded or simply out to lunch? Were they offensive heathens or merely maladjusted psychopaths?
Oh my, the joke bombed so bad even the frames are leaving. And can I get a little consistency on the hands, please? One is riddled down to the bone, and the other just looks like it was chopped off by the master. We get more awkward cuts as the scene goes on, which leads me to say that if your camera can only shoot for 30 seconds at a time, the least you could do is switch camera angles. Frank Booth is less intimidating when he uses a Dixie cup. Don't you fucking look at me! The movie has an all-star cast, by the way. Look, we've got the Doctor from Gyromite, Vampira, I think that's one of the Klopeks, David Bowie there, and people not good enough to get a painting made out of them. The opening scene should lend some advice to every amateur filmmaker out there. If you don't want a phone going off in the scene, just make a fake one out of cardboard. Looks like they were too cheap to draw anything outside their fake window. Let's just assume this is taking place during a whiteout. The mad scientist is Dr. Frankenberry, who I'm guessing works with the creature with the black macaroons. He works in cosmic regeneration, which you can tell by his experiment in successfully putting graffiti on a cat. He's being told that his funding is cut off, which is understandable. This organization can't even afford a real phone. I like when the camera goes out of focus here, so they zoom out to correct it. But why were they zooming into that cat's ass to begin with? Oh no, kitty, don't take the unplugged cord. Now people will notice the phone is fake. Sorry, I'm talking too much. You were saying, Doctor?
I shall continue my studies independently, and one day eclipse all your paltry notions of higher chemosyntheses with resounding finality.
You don't even know what any of those words mean. We then cut to Quasimodo reading a newspaper, probably about the set from the Superman musical being stolen by the makers of Geek Maggot Bingo. Or Rod Stewart mugged. Okay, hope that works itself out. The hunchback here, named Geeko, answers a want ad in the paper that takes him to the set of Return to the Killer Tomatoes. The person who placed the ad is Dr. Frankenberry. And these guys had better hurry up because the Saturday morning kids show that usually uses this set is gonna be here any minute. Honestly, I will have to hand it to this movie. It does explain how the Doctor and his hunchback sidekick meet. In the body shop, the Astro Zombies, or hell, even blood-sucking freaks, the duos just sorta already knew each other for some reason. This movie at least shows us their humble beginnings. And it still sucks. The Doctor needs bodies for his human experimentation, so he has Geeko dress like a prostitute, and he's in luck because he found the world's only man with a transvestite humpback fetish. Oh shit, you left your phone off the hook. You'll be surprised when you get your phone bill. That's probably written on a piece of cardboard. After posing for 5 minutes, Geeko kills the man, and I totally believe he's really killing him. Ugh, looks like I could easily splice in footage from Criminally Insane. Let's hear some more from the narrator. Oh, never mind. He's already asleep. Anyway, it seems they've run out of backgrounds and we're now using black sheets. This is Frankenberry's daughter who seduces a man that she must have met at the wig store.
No, stop, no.
Very professional. This character would be scared if the actor playing him didn't find being in this movie so fucking hilarious. Thank God we're back with the Doctor, who is speaking so much confusing medical jargon. I'm just guessing he's trying to bring that lawn chair back to life.
My discoveries have led me to the inescapable conclusion that within the electrohelical parabola, chemosynthetic regeneration can occur, meaning substantiated evolutionary progression.
Also, mad scientists love it when their daughters run around in a mesh 90. Something tells me that even John Carradine turned down this role. What's that you say? Nothing is happening in the movie so far? Well, I haven't even gotten to the vampires. You know, I can't really say anything about that effect, because it probably took a lot longer than I think. And why is the guy from earlier in the movie returning as a vampire? Well, at least they're fending him off with a cross-shaped piece of cheesecake. What's that say? I pity you? Please, don't pity me. I am technically choosing to watch these movies. Not even the music can make up its mind what it wants to do. That was almost the Monster Mash, but that would require some kind of graveyard smash. Here it's just a couple vampires. The vampires put Geeko under their hypnotic spell to get some info from the Doctor, who is spending his time doing... What the hell is he doing? That's not how you check a heartbeat. Also, she's your fucking daughter! Turns out the vampires need his daughter for their use in creating an army of the undead, which the Doctor wants to counter by creating his own superhuman being to fight against them. Honestly, I think she was better off with the vampires than her incestuous father. But really, he was planning on creating a monster anyway. Now he just has an excuse. First things first, though, they need a body for their experiment. So they meet the Rawhide Kid, and you can tell he's from a Western by the background music. Guess they didn't have the heart to swipe the Rawhide theme. It's not like Clint Eastwood wasn't in both of those things. So while they're getting Sheriff James Woods here drunk, the vampire's father shows up, and the Doctor has to confess that he's a terrible overactor.
I regret to inform you that your son is a vampire.
Oh, and that, yeah, his son is a vampire. The two go inside, and oh, come on! You could have at least made that look like a wall phone. The two meet up with the vampires, and the father is given a gun so chintzy that I was honestly worried it was gonna blow both of his hands off. At At least that's a better special effect than when he falls off the cliff. You realize it would have been cheaper just to throw a dummy off the cliff. We get to see more of the movie's awesome use of sound when Elvira reminds Geeko of his mission.
I will then kill the cowboy, as you have instructed.
Geez, editing. I know you're racing to the end, but you could have at least waited for him to finish the line. Also, is it just me, but does the Doctor sound more and more like Professor Farnsworth from Futurama?
In my present condition, I dare not perform the experiment. I must get some sleep.
Well, while you're sleeping, the Rawhide Kid escapes, leaving Geeko tangled from the ceiling.
You fucking wiener head! Yeah.
Can't say I've ever heard Farnsworth say that. Rawhide is captured again, and, oh, Jesus, with this mess of cardboard, I think Dr. Forrester here is gonna fail this week's invention exchange.
What do you think, Geeko?
Are you happy, movie? Your badness just killed your actor! All I can say is Dr. Heiter's first attempt at a human centipede was a complete disaster. Also, this monster has nothing to do with the Rawhide Kid, so I'm not really sure why he's here. Maybe it's to easily break out of the chains, just to prove how cheap the props are? My god, this movie's coming dangerously close to being called Jesse James Meets Frankenberry's Daughter. While this is going on, Geeko is being chased through the woods by the monster. Kill me! Geeko had better be careful because this monster is powerful enough to turn your head into paper mache, then rip it from your body. Christ, this thing looks like the Mars Attacks monster raping Skeletor. This scene here is interesting in that you can tell when daylight shooting ends and night shooting begins. Better than a day for night shot, I guess. Geeko attempts to fight the monster and... the hell is he doing? Okay, that's kind of funny. Seriously, he's a shoo-in now for one of Tiberius's freaks. All he needs is an ass stomach. The victory is short-lived for the monster, though, as he's bitten by... oh, does it really matter if the two-headed monster is a vampire? It's like turning a child molester into a bank robber. He's still terrible. But I guess it matters to the vampire, as biting him causes his dummy double to melt. The Doctor also tries fighting the monster, which leads to the most pretentious last words I've heard in one of these movies.
This labyrinth of pain and fear that we call life is but a prelude to the cosmic symphony of oblivion, which I call the anatomy of death.
Seriously, those were going to be my last words before watching this film? The Rawhide Kid has a bit of luck because the monster is randomly struck by lightning. I guess because he walked longer as Mr. Hyde than he did as Dr. Jekyll. Nothing left to do now than to take the lady and watch the sunrise. Because this is a... Western? Oh, hey, you're going out of focus. Oh, well, that's why. Had to slide the title card over it. And that's the end of Geek Maggot Bingo. What the hell? Where do I start? Where do I finish? What the fuck do I even need to say about this? Well, the title is a lie. There is a guy named Geeko, but where were the maggots? Also, there was a huge lack of bingo, the game or that shitty kids movie. More work went into the cheap backgrounds than the script. I know some of you may find this hard to believe, and I, for one, am shocked as well. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. It just seems so impossible, but Geek Maggot Bingo is a terrible movie.